Decades ago, 10 fighters from across the globe came together to determine which of them had the strength, courage, and skill to be crowned the Street Fighter champion. An American fighter named Ken Masters rose to the challenge and eventually emerged victorious after defeating the master of Muay Thai, Sagat. Ken, realizing that street fighting wasn't a super lucrative career path, returned home and enrolled in Bargham University, specializing in the field of cybotics. During his studies, Ken befriended Troy, a classmate also studying cybotics. Together, they perfected a revolutionary discovery they dubbed cyboplasm, which, when administered in small doses, gives people the extra strength they need to remain alive. However, in large doses, cyboplasm takes over the body and mind of its host and turns them into violent, mindless supermen, or in some cases, super aliens. One day, Ken enters the lab only to find it nearly destroyed. Troy has been murdered, and the formula for cyboplasm has been stolen. Ken, now equipped with bionics and a personal teleportation device, knows he must put his Street Fighter training to use once again and travel to space to retrieve the cyboplasm formula and avenge Troy. Did you get all that? If so, welcome to Street Fighter 2010, a single-player action platformer released in 1990 by Capcom. In Street Fighter 2010, you use the A button to jump and B to shoot Hadouken-like projectiles. You have a few different attacks at your disposal, some of which you can perform by pressing a direction on the D-pad while pressing B. For example, pressing down and B will result in a kick that unleashes a projectile which travels on a counterintuitive upward trajectory. You can also cling to most surfaces by holding the A button during a jump, allowing you to climb up and down. The controls in Street Fighter 2010 can take some getting used to, as you may find yourself sticking to everything and flailing around helplessly at first, but you'll find yourself doing back-flipping downward Hadoukens with enough practice. Some of the, I don't even know what to call these things, weird sponge-type platforms you'll encounter can be destroyed, and you may uncover power-ups which increase the range of your Hadoukens, but don't get too attached to them as you lose them when you die, and if you're anything like me, you will die. A lot. Street Fighter 2010 features 19 stages, which might sound like a lot, but most of them are fairly small, with some stages consisting of a single psychedelic room. These psychedelic rooms aside, there is actually quite a bit of level variety packed into Street Fighter 2010, as you may find yourself matched against a target enemy which you must defeat to progress, or fighting hordes of lesser enemies to gather energy to use your teleportation device. There are also horizontal and vertical auto-scrolling stages, and there's even a stage that auto-scrolls both left and right at different intervals, which is fairly unique. Once you've achieved your goal, a blue gateway will appear somewhere on the stage. You'll have to scramble to find these gateways, as you only have a few seconds to enter it, and if you don't make it in time, you'll lose a life and have to try again. Street Fighter 2010 offers a stiff challenge, especially during the last level, which is a boss gauntlet requiring near-perfect execution to even reach the final boss. Thankfully, Street Fighter 2010 has unlimited continues, so if you're persistent enough, you can finally discover the truth behind what happened to your best friend Troy. Much of Street Fighter 2010's notoriety seems to stem from the fact that Capcom tried to capitalize on the popularity of Street Fighter by shoehorning Ken Masters into the game for the North American release, but it's actually pretty fun in its own right. If you're up for a tough throwdown with a bunch of cyboplasmic super aliens, then Street Fighter 2010 is the fever dream for you. I give Street Fighter 2010 a peculiar 3 out of 5.